All right. Hi, my name is Jacqueline. I am new to this booktube kind of realm. I love watching booktube. I love seeing what other people are reading and their reviews and like purely unbiased reviews. There have been some books that I've loved that somebody else has not loved, but seeing their perspective on it really I really love that. So I'm hoping that I can start doing that here. So I have a lot of books I need to finish or want to finish before the end of 2024. So I have about a month and a week to complete pretty much every single book on this list, as well as the books that are on the shelf right here. So I am in the middle of some books. So I am in the middle of Kingdom of Ash. I have it tabbed or broken up every 50 pages. And just take them out once I get to it. So I am about, I'm gonna say I'm at page 410 out of 1,000. So I'm not quite 50% through with this one, but I plan on finishing this week. That is the goal. Before the end of November, this book is done. Another book that I am currently in the middle of is Frankenstein. I started working on this in October. It's just been a slow process. I'm listening to it on audio. But I am about 90-ish pages in, so I'm at chapter 9-ish. So those are two that I plan on finishing for sure this week. I want to finish the books that are on, the rest of the books on the shelf this month. I'm okay if I don't finish Filthy Rich Vampire because that is a relatively new book. I had gotten number 4 without realizing that it was the 4th book in a series. So I recently just got number 1, and so I wanted to read it, but it's not top priority for me. Chasing Brooklyn. Chasing Brooklyn, I want to read only for the fact that it's been on my bookshelf for over a decade at this point, and I don't know if I'm actually going to read it. So if I don't read it before the end of the year, I will be giving this book away, like sending it to the library or putting it in my classroom, just depending on the rating and whatnot, because it is more, I want to say, no, I don't know, I have to look into this, but it is a small book, short, and the writing, it's very diary, not diary entry, but diary entry slash poetry kind of vibes. So I think this will be a quick read. So hopefully with my 24-hour readathon that I'm going to be doing later this week, that I can get this in, because again, the pages are shorter, so I don't see an issue with it. So that's something. My goal is to finish the Percy Jackson series, the main 5, before the end of the year. So this is book 4. I just got the audiobook off of Libby, so I'm going to start listening to that because it just helps me get through it a little bit faster. But book 4, and then December I will read book 5, just to finish off the series so I'm not stressing out. So I am going to start book 4, The Battle of the Labyrinth, this month. I started with the Pumpkin Spice Cafe and fell in love with this series, so I bought the other 2 books that are currently out. So I want to read the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore before December hits, because it is very fall vibes. So I want to read this. I do also have, I think it's the Christmas Tree Farm. Yeah, the Christmas Tree Farm. I have that one that I want to read in December. So that is an option. But I want to try to read this week, since I'm on break for work. So this seems just like a really fun read. And again, I'm not too concerned with Filthy Rich Vampire. It's not top of my priority. It just looks like a fun book. I might start the series next year, just so I can, because I'm starting new series each year to try and get through them. But this is really fun looking. It looks interesting. I've heard good reviews about it, so hopefully. I'm going to put this off to the side, though, since it's not a priority. And let's put these back on the shelf temporarily. And I will fix this, because, again, I'm trying to read this before Thanksgiving, before Thursday. Fingers crossed. These are the books that are on both my 24 to read in 2024 as well as my classic buddy read. So the top two books are from the classic buddy read. So November's read is Villette. I believe that's how you pronounce it, by Charlotte Bronte. So I want to read this. I need to read this before the end of the week. I won't be able to do the discussion just because I think they're discussing today as I'm filming. So I'm not too concerned about that, but I do want to still read it and just kind of get more classics. And then our December read is going to be The Christmas Carol, or A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. I've read it in the past, but that was like forever ago. So my brain is stuck on the Mickey Mouse version of this. So all that. So I'm looking forward to reading this. This will be hopefully, really, it should be a quick read because it is so short. What is it? 166 pages, and the book is tiny. So I don't foresee this taking more than a few hours to finish. All of these books are all on my 24 to read in 2024. It is a big chunk of books. So the goal is to finish reading these all before the end of the year. I'm not going to get upset if I don't, because that's a lot of books to read in a month and a week, also, as well as the books that I'm currently in the middle of. So whatever books I don't finish for this 24 to read in 2024 will go on to my 25 to read in 2025, because I have a few empty spots for that. So I'm not too upset about it. So we're going to start off with Les Mis. I have the Barnes & Noble cloth-bound edition. It is gorgeous. I am going to go through and tab this just like I did with Kingdom of Ash for every 50 pages. So it should take me about like 25, I think the way I did the math was like 25 days to read this. So I should get this done by Christmas if I start on December 1st. So big chunk, but doable if I break it down and do like manageable times. Okay, we have The Book Thief. I'm trying to find the audio for all of these books because I do teach. So like in my breaks, I don't want to have to carry around a physical book. So I think I have this one on hold right now. But it is The Book Thief by Markus Zusak. I've been wanting to read this forever. It's been in my shelves since like 2014 or 2015. So it has been a hot minute since I bought this, and I just really want to finally read it. I've heard good things, but I've also heard like meh. But I do like that there are some like news clipping kind of headlines in here, so it shouldn't be too bad. I think there is, how many pages? Okay, that's the epilogue. We don't need the epilogue. 539 pages, so this should take a few days to read, but I'm excited. This is one that I absolutely want to finish before the end of the year, or it will be one that I will be having to give up because I've got too many books on my shelves. It's a long story. I'm trying to read through them. This is helping. Then we have Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. I've read Jo's Boys recently for my classic buddy read. So I wanted to read Little Women. I've watched the movie, every single like rendition of it, and I've loved it. I love like just the story in general, and this one has little pictures involved in it too. It's part of a collection, so all of them kind of are very cohesive and they're very pretty. I don't see myself getting rid of this series, but I do want to at least read this one before, and I have the entire like box set of these books, this series of books. So might be something that I finish next year. I'm not too much in a rush. It's not a top priority. So we have Little Women. How Beautiful We Were by Mbolo Mbui. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the last name correctly. I do apologize. But I picked this up in a bookstore last year. That was like a bookstore / bar. I think it was called The Wild Detectives out in Dallas. And it just grabbed my attention. And I realized that if I don't read it, if it's not on like a to be read list, I won't read it. I won't naturally pick it up. So I am really interested, and it's not set in America or like England, so it is outside of my wheelhouse of like normal reads. So this is set in Africa. Make sure. In the fictional African village of Kosawa. So this says, so begins Mbolo's powerful second novel, How Beautiful We Were. Set in the fictional African village of Kosawa, it tells of a people living in fear amid environmental degradation wrought by an American oil company. Pipeline spills have rendered farmlands infertile. Children are dying from drinking toxic water. Promises of cleanup and financial reparations to the villagers are made and ignored. The country's government, led by a brazen dictator, exists to serve its own interests. Left with few choices, the people of Kosawa decide to fight back. Their struggle will last for decades and come at a steep price. It is told from the perspective of a generation of children and the family of a girl named Thula, who grows up to become a revolutionary. How Beautiful We Were is a masterful exploration of what happens when reckless drive for profit, coupled with the ghost of colonialism, comes up against one community's determination to hold on to its ancestral land and a young woman's willingness to sacrifice everything for the sake of her people's freedom. So again, this is not something that I would have traditionally picked up just as a casual read. So I am looking forward to reading this. This will probably be a December read. But it is like, reading the synopsis of it is really like grabbing my attention. So I'm excited to read it. Then we have The Last Thing He Told Me, which I think was a book gifted to me, like for like Christmas or birthday or something that I just never got around to. And I don't know what dragged me to it. I think it was just one of the random books that I just put on my list. So if this isn't a book that I am like prioritizing, I'm okay with that. But this is The Last Thing He Told Me by Laura Dave. Before Owen Michaels disappears, he manages to smuggle a note to his beloved wife of 1 year. Protect her. Despite her confusion and fear, Hannah Hall knows exactly whom the note refers, Owen's 16-year-old daughter, Bailey. Bailey, who lost her mother tragically as a child. Bailey, who wants absolutely nothing to do with her new stepmother. As Hannah's increasingly desperate calls to Owen go unanswered, as the FBI arrest Owen's boss, as a U.S. Marshal and federal agents arrive at their Sausalito home unannounced, Hannah quickly realizes her husband isn't who he said he was, and that Bailey just may hold the key to figuring out Owen's true identity and why he really disappeared. Hannah and Bailey set out to discover the truth, but as they start putting together the pieces of Owen's past, they soon realize they are also building a new future, one neither of them could have anticipated. With its breakneck pacing, dizzying plot twist, and evocative family drama, The Last Thing He Told Me was a riveting mystery, certain to shock you with its final heartbreaking turn. So it sounds really interesting. I'm hoping I can get to this, but again, not super high on my like priority list. And the last thing that I have this book currently on hold for audio. This is a nonfiction. I don't tend to read more of like the nonfiction books, but this is Atomic Habits by James Clear. I've had a few coworkers tell me to read this, that they really enjoyed it. So it's been on my list for about a year now. Like been on my TBR for over a year. And so I'm hoping I can get to this. I do have this. It should be available within the next few weeks for me to get, I think on Libby or Sora. I can't remember. But I will be listening to this in December, but it'll probably be closer to Christmassy time just because of all that. So these are just some of the books. Let me put them back up here that I plan on reading before 2024 is over. And again, anything that I don't finish will go on my 25 to read in 25. I have about like 18 or 19 books already on that like stack. So I have room to add a few more, but I really want to dwindle this down. I have already met my yearly goal of like the amount of books I'm going to read. I think I set like 75, and I think I'm right at 74, maybe on 75 with these two books that I'm currently in progress with. So this is going to be more like I have the time. I'm not stressed about trying to meet a deadline. So if I can get through these, I can get through these. The top two, I absolutely have to. Les Mis, that's like top priority for December. So I am looking forward to reading these. I am now going to read a big chunk of Kingdom of Ash and hopefully get that done with. But I'm looking forward to it. I will be doing a 24-hour readathon kind of thing. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a straight 24 hours, if I'm going to do like a timer, like whenever I'm reading, the timer's going up until I get to 24. It just depends on how tired I am. So I look forward to seeing y'all soon. So have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful holiday if you are celebrating. And I look forward to seeing y'all again soon. Bye.